Thanks so much for joining us here at KREM 2. I'm Jenny Power. We are under a weather impact alert as we are experiencing some widespread unhealthy air quality because of wildfire smoke impacting much of the inland Northwest. So here's what you need to know. This smoke and the unhealthy air quality, it's going to be sticking around here for a little bit, folks, and impacting weekend plans as things have even been starting to cancel because of the conditions that we are seeing. So this type of unhealthy air quality, it impacts everyone, not even just people who might be especially sensitive or might have respiratory concerns. But during this time, it is advised to limit your time as well as any strenuous activity outside because of the worsened air quality. So as we move forward and kind of take a look at the maps here, we have still been experiencing some very unhealthy air quality through parts of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, with even some isolated areas of Spokane County experiencing some hazardous air quality. Unhealthy air quality for all these areas that are shaded in red, you can see expanding through a lot of the Idaho Panhandle and almost out toward the Ritzville area. It is because we have been seeing smoke from areas to the south of us just billowing up into eastern Washington and North Idaho. So because of fires that started yesterday up in North Idaho, they had an air quality alert go into place for Boundary County. But now, just a few minutes ago, the National Weather Service, as well as some other local air quality management agencies here, have issued some air quality alerts for Spokane County, Whitman County, as well as a little bit further west there for all of these counties that are shaded in gray until Sunday morning because of the reduced air quality that we are going to be seeing. So, I mean, if you have been outside, you might even still be inside and be able to smell it. We are seeing some pretty thick smoke encompass the inland Northwest. And the big player here in some of these conditions, it all has to do with these winds that are coming out of the south. So temperatures have been on the more mild side. We've been in the upper 60s to low 70s so far through this morning. But those winds out of the southwest here, folks, that has been the main driver. So let's take a look at what our setup is, because unfortunately we did see some new fires spark toward parts of the lower Columbia Basin, southern Washington, and then we're also getting some smoke from fires down in Oregon. Now, when we factor in what's happening weather-wise and why we're getting some of this smoke, we even saw some smoke yesterday. Winds were coming from the north. We saw new fires start in North Idaho, and that is what gave us smoky conditions on Thursday. But today, with those new fires that have started in southern Washington and the wind direction change now coming from the south, it is just blowing all of that smoke up into eastern Washington as well as North Idaho. So that's where it's coming from. And winds are expected to continue to come from the south throughout this upcoming weekend. So we can see that as we move forward and get into our future tracker. It's even going to be a bit breezy and elevated with gusts near 25 miles per hour up in the Okanagan Valley as well as the Meadow Valley. So we're watching for elevated fire risk still through those areas. Moving forward, though, the wind shift, it's going to continue to just vary from the south versus southwest, but still making aim for this smoke to be impacting us into this upcoming weekend. So here's another model's comparison of the smoke forecast near the surface, where we are going to watch for those southerly winds continue to just blow that elevated smoke, as well as that widespread smoke, I should say, across Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, much of eastern Washington and North Idaho. By tomorrow evening, we are watching for the wind direction to shift, more coming from the west, but that means any areas to the east of where these fires are burning could see some more heavy smoke. So be aware of that. Those air quality alerts in place again through Sunday morning. What we are going to watch out for moving forward, though, is the potential for new fires to start, because then that could change the direction, or I should say the impact for some of that smoke out there. We could be seeing even more intense smoke, for example, if a new fire starts closer to Spokane County. We have been seeing earlier this morning some isolated thunderstorm activity is starting to track out of the inland Northwest as we are giving way to mostly dry conditions all the way through our extended forecast. At times, we'll see partly cloudy skies in the Camas Prairie and the risk of isolated thunderstorms in northwest Montana. But other than that, hot, hazy, smoky, unhealthy air quality and dry conditions persist for us for this upcoming weekend. Now, as we move forward, we do still have some pockets that are experiencing some red flag warnings out toward the Okanagan Valley, the Meadow Valley, because of relatively low humidity and gusty winds. These red flag warnings are in place through North Idaho, expected to expire at 11 a.m. So we'll still just see those pockets mostly out toward central Washington that have that elevated fire risk as relative humidity drops through this afternoon. afternoon on top of the already smoky conditions. Highs upper 80s across Sandpoint, Coeur d'Alene, and St. Mary's, low 90s for Spokane. And as we move forward and take a look at your almanac, these temperatures for Spokane are above average. 7-day planning forecast for you. We will fall to the low 90s Saturday and Sunday, but still actually going to be warm across the region. As we take a look into next week, mostly dry conditions, but those highs that creep up a bit more, reaching the mid 90s. Of course, you can always get the updates here, but we'll monitor that unhealthy air quality as we move forward.